Hello my friends, today we're going to be analysing a few filmmaking techniques that I feel are very important when conveying emotion through video or movies. How is it that video is able to make us humans feel emotion? How is it that a series of moving pictures can get us to cry, laugh, feel happy, or angry? Firstly, you have the music score, then lighting, and then most importantly, and the one we're going to focus on today, lens choice and camera movement. Whether or not a shot is a wide shot or a close-up or an extreme close-up dictates how much of our attention is given at that particular moment. Within filmmaking, you have a few common shot types. Firstly, you have an extreme wide shot. This shot is the kind that is used to set the location, otherwise known as the establishing shot. Here you can see great landscapes and humans look like ants. Next, you have the long shot. This shot is one where you can see the whole human from top to toe. Don't get confused by the word long lens. A long shot is still technically a wide shot, although we use the word long to describe lenses where you can zoom in very closely that can help you get close-ups. Next, medium shot. Here is where things get a bit more closer to the character. A medium shot is one that is waist up. Here we still have a bit of headroom left, but the frame is definitely getting tighter. By tighter, I mean closer, more zoomed in if you may. A medium close-up or MCU means that we can see the character chest up. Next we have the close-up. Now the shot is getting very emotional. You're right into the character's face and we can almost see every emotion in their face. Every nuance the character makes is visible to us and we can easily understand the exact emotion the character is feeling. Here the composition is just neck up. You can barely see the rest of the body, and the main intention of this kind of shot is to get the audience to feel every kind of emotion in the character and make the character feel closer to the audience. Lastly, we have the extreme close-up. This captures extreme detail. This kind of shot is very niche and only has certain applications. This shot really digs out into the emotion and gives a displeasing feeling sometimes. The eyes are the window to the soul, and we can use extreme close-ups to advantage and express emotion within the character. Within a scene, there are many emotional moments that give the scene its flow. At one moment it can be funny, and next absolute bloodshed. One moment could be pure awkwardness, and the next moment the characters are deep in love. We as filmmakers have to show this change in emotion in a gradual manner, one that is not too abrupt and allows the audience to easily register the emotion in a scene. Let's take a look at this scene from Tenet. In this scene, you have the protagonist and Cat. They are at first cold towards each other. TP is trying to get information out of her, but Cat is acting disinterested and does not want to open up to TP. In this moment, the camera is wide, far away from the characters, almost replicating the emotional distance between the two characters. As we move on, TP has some success in getting to know more info about Cat. Here, we move into a medium shot. The tension between these characters increases as Cat exposes more about her personal life. Then you have these push-ins, where the camera slowly moves forward into the characters. Think of this push-in almost like a blade, going deeper and deeper into the characters. Finally, we have this strong push-in onto Cat, and the emotional background music also starts to play.
Drawing his hold over me.
Cat starts to tell a story, and we as the audience can sympathize with her. We feel close to her. We feel for Cat as the camera pushes in from medium shot into a medium close-up. We are getting closer to her. We also close in onto TP, who is getting his information out of Cat, and is in return getting closer to Cat. We continue listening to Cat's story as it gets more and more in-depth and heartbreaking. Once again, the camera is like a blade, cutting into the character. Finally, we get a close-up where we can clearly see the emotion in her face, about to burst into tears. Look at how far we've come just with camera movement alone. From being far away from one another to Cat opening up her deeper secret to TP, all while feeling natural. This is the power of camera movement and lens choices. Now let's talk about framing your shot. What position should you put your camera at to achieve a certain effect in film? A low-angle shot is used in situations to make a character or object feel large and empowering. It is used to say that this person or character is in charge now. A high-angle shot does the opposite of that. It shows that the character is meek and weak. They are powerless and are in a bad state. If the shot is at eye level, it's more of a neutral shot. You can't really go wrong with this. Eye-level shots are used for dialogue and for scenes without extreme emotions. An over-the-shoulder shot, or a OTS, is used mainly in conversations to keep the flow of the conversation natural. A pan shot is one that moves either from left to right or right to left. A tilt is one that's moving up-down or down-up. A Dutch tilt is one where the camera is in a weird tilted angle on purpose to give an uneasy look or to show that something is off. A locked off shot is essentially a tripod shot. This shot is extremely powerful and often overlooked due to the coolness of gimbals nowadays. I made the bad decision of buying a gimbal before buying a proper tripod, and I regret it, as the tripod has become such an essential tool of making shots that seem much more powerful. Yes, camera movement is important, but only when necessary. A locked off shot peering into the character's eyes can tell so much more than you can think. A track-in shot, otherwise known as a push-in, is a shot that's commonly used nowadays due to the ease of gimbals. You would use this shot to increase the tension in the scene or to tell the audience that this is a key moment and to listen up as this shot is important and the character is feeling something. A track out, otherwise known as a pull-out, usually reduces the tension in a scene. A lot of the times you will see movies ending on a pull-out, and this works as a conclusion, as tension is relieved and the audience can finally sit back. Then we have the 180-degree rule, where the camera stays on one side of the two characters' dialogue. This is to maintain the continuity of the left and right positions of the character. Whatever techniques I've just spoken about is complete nonsense if there is no story.
I don't really know.
All the camera moves, lighting, framing, and rules have to serve a story. If a slow motion shot is done just for the fun of it, there is no point and the audience will be left confused. It is hence very important that you let story dictate your shot type. This is where storyboarding and shot listing comes into play. After you have come up with your story, prepare a list or a chart that describes the framing and movement of the shot. This will allow you to visualize the story and better plot the filming process beforehand. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. See you, champs.